Let's talk about properties of pressure in stationary liquids. And we know that fluids flow from one place to another. When you take a river flows from one place to another. And when we're talking about stationary liquids, we mean liquids that are confined in a specific place or a specific area. For example, we can talk about lakes, we can talk about artificial water collected, or water collected in artificial containers like a bucket. Now, the first property is that pressure acts in all directions. Pressure acts in all directions. So with this cloth here, we can see that the water is being forced out in several directions. Anywhere there's a hole, the water comes out. Okay, so the water is being forced out of the bag in several different directions. That is the first property. So pressure acts in all directions. That is why the water is being forced in several different directions. 2, pressure increases with depth. So over here, up top here, you see that the water, although it's coming out with a certain amount of force, it is not as much as in the bottom hole. In the bottom hole, the water is being pushed further forward. The reason is because the pressure with which the water is coming out is much greater. So the water is being pushed further forward. So pressure increases with depth. In the top hole, the pressure is okay. It gets greater in the middle and then greatest at the bottom. So as you move down, the pressure increases. That is the second rule. Thirdly, the pressure does not depend on the shape of the container. Here, the water levels have risen to the same height, although the containers have different shapes. The reason is because the atmospheric pressure acting on them is the same. So the pressure is equal in all those containers. And then the fourth rule is that pressure depends on density of liquid. Now these holes are at the same height, but you can see that in the water, the pressure is much greater than in the oil. The reason is because of the difference in densities. Water is more denser than oil.